welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm bringing your way another video, and this video is going to be a very short video. So today we are going to look at how to configure your Mikrotik router board. It's going to be a very short video and it's going to be very simple. So what you need is to get yourself a Mikrotik router board and also some cable, because you have to connect the cable from the Microsoft router to your computer. So that's what we are looking at today. All right.
The first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect the router to my computer, because I need to configure the router board first. But when I'm done configuring the router board, I'll go straight up to the closet and I'll connect the modem's cable to the router board here, and then I'll see how the internet goes. So now this is how it's going to happen. So first of all, connect cable, and then connecting the cable. So normally I sometimes advise that you connect the cable to the port 2, not the port 1. So normally connect it to the port 2, which will show up here that it's connected. Yes, because I've already done the connection to my laptop, right? The next thing is that you are going to see that the lights will definitely show up. Okay, I don't know whether you can see that, but you see that the light is showing yellow. You just turn off. Your light, it blinks and then it goes off, blinks and it goes off. So now it's blinking. All right, perfect. Okay, so now you can see that now the light is stable. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to configure this and then show you how this thing is done. The next thing that we will need is called the WIN box. So we will need the WIN box, and the WIN box is what connects to the router board. So we need a WIN box, which is a software for Mikrotik. You can.
All right. So now I'll just go ahead and configure the IP address for the router board. So I'll go to IP. I can go to a quick set and then set up the IP address from here, which becomes more easier, right? Some people will do it from here. I can do it from here. Hold on a minute, let me just show you something. Or I can set the IP address also from here. So for example, I can come to addresses and I come to add an IP address, and then what I'm going to do is that I'll just add the IP address to be 192.168.5.1, and then I'll just put it on the interface. This is Ethernet. This is the one area for the Ethernet AP. So what I did was that, but let me show you first of all. Let me go back a little bit. When you look at the interface here, you can see that the first one, the Ethernet, that is the port I showed you. So the port 1, I've renamed it to be 1. So that is where the coax cable is coming from the modem to connect to. So at the back of the router, the first port here is for the Ethernet. Then the second port, which is the Ethernet 2, I need to rename this. So this is going to be renamed. Hold on, let me just double click on it and then go and rename it from here. So this is the Ethernet 2, and this is going to be for the access point. So the port 2 is where I'm going to connect the access point to. So I just click on apply, and that'll be it. And I've also renamed it, and then I can go and then add a comment to the Ethernet 1 and say that. So this is going to be this is the port for the internet. This is the port for the internet. So you can, whenever you are configuring the Mikrotik router board, you can add a comment to it. So this is for the internet. This port is for the AP. So now I did a third one. So the third one here is the spare. I call it the spare. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bridge the third and the fourth port. I'm going to bridge it together and then assign an IP address to it. So when I come to bridge, I can come here I can come to port here and then add ports, but I'm not going to do it like that. I need to first of all select the bridge and then name it. So this is going to be the name I'm going to give this one is bridge 1. I just apply it, and then when I apply the bridge, I'll go to port and then add the ports to it. So this is going to be the interface. I'm going to put the port 3, which is this. But hold on, let me just go ahead. Let me cancel this first. So I'll go ahead and then just rename this to the normal to the default name, which is the Ethernet 3. So I'll go to the port here and then add the ports. So this so the interface will be the E3, the Ether 3. That is the port 3, and then I'll add it to the bridge. So this is going to be the bridge 1. Apply and hit OK. Then I'll add the Ether 4 to it. So I'm going to add Ether 4. I'll add it to the bridge. Apply and then hit OK. So now what I've done right now is that, so now you see that this is a bridge, right? So the bridge is acting as just, I'll say, so the bridge is combining these two ports together as one. So what I'm currently going to do is that I'm going to assign an IP address to this particular bridge and set up the DHCP, so the DHCP will release an IP address to these two ports. So basically that's what I've just did. So now after doing this, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to go to IP addresses here, addresses, and I'm going to add an address, right? So I just go here and add 192.168.5.1. I'm going to add, I'm going to put this IP address on Ethernet 2 for the AP. So my access point is going to receive this this IP address, right? I'll go ahead and apply and then hit OK. Then I'll add another IP address. So I'll add another IP address to it. So as you can see, when you look at here, you can see that the AP is responding. As you can see, some packets going through the access point 2. It's going through the port 2. Now I'll go ahead and then add another IP address, and I'm going to give this IP address as 192.168. Let's say I made a mistake with this one. All right, so hold on a minute. Let me go ahead and then let me clear this one off. Let me delete this IP address and then add it again. So this is going to be 192.168.5.1 slash 24. So this is going to be slash 24. Perfect. And then I'm going to put it on Ether 2 for the access point. Apply and hit OK. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another IP address, which is going to be 192.168. No, I'm going to add, let me say, okay, 192.168.10.1/24, and I'm going to add this one to the bridge. So this is going to be the bridge, and now just go ahead and then hit OK. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to set up the DHCP for the 2. So I'll go to IP address and go to DHCP server, and I'm going to delete this one, and then come here. So I'll come to DHCP. So yeah, the DHCP setup here, I can just go ahead from here and then pick up the interface, which is for the AP for the access point. I'll click on next. I'll click here next, and I'll go to next, and then you see that it's giving us the address pool. So as you can see, you have 192.168.5.2 to 192.168.5.25.254. So basically what is happening is that the DHCP is going to release an IP address between 2 and then 254. So all the IP address between 2 and 254, the DHCP is going to release that IP address to the access point. So when I connect the access point to it, the DHCP can decide, okay, fine, I want to give the access point maybe 192.168.5. maybe 10 or 5.8, or depending on whatever the DHCP want to give it to it. So I just go ahead and click next. Then the next will be the DNS server. So the DNS server is 8.8.8.8. That is the Google server. All right. I'll go ahead, and then the least time will be just 10 seconds, which is 10 minutes, which is okay. I'll be like that, and then click OK. The next thing is that I'm going to set up another DHCP, because okay, it just disconnected up. It will definitely connect back again because I just did a DHCP configuration. That is why. Okay, so let me just open it up a little bit. So when you go back to the DHCP server again, I can go ahead and add another DHCP, because you see that when I created the IP address, I have one for bridge 1, because the bridge 1 has this has port 3 and the port 4 together. So I need to create a DHCP so that the DHCP will release an IP addresses to those two ports whenever any cable is connected to it. So that's the first one, the first thing. So I'll just go ahead and then select the bridge. So this time I'm not going to select Ether 3 or Ether 4, because I've combined these two together as one, and then I've bridged it. So the bridge simply means that I'm combining two ports together as one. So I just put the DHCP here on the bridge, and I'll click next, and you can see that when I created an IP address from here, you can see that the IP address is 192.168.10.1. So the DHCP here is setting the address space from 192.168.10.0/24. So I'll just go ahead and click next. Then the gateway will be 10.1, and then go ahead and click next. So you see that the DHCP is giving us a pool. So the pool is 192.168.10.2 to 192.168.10.254. So what this one also means, as I explained earlier, is that this one here, the DHCP is going to release any IP address between the number 2 and the number 254 to any port, to any device that I'm going to connect to the port 3 or to the port 4. All right. So I'll go ahead. I'm sure that somebody is asking me what is the meaning of DHCP. So DHCP is dynamic host configuration protocol. So what it does is that it dynamically releases an IP address to devices on the network. It doesn't release an IP address for a device and it becomes static. For example, let's say the DHCP will release an IP address to, let's say, a device on the network, and then that'll be static. It doesn't change. No, the DHCP, what it does is that when it releases an IP address, it has a lease time. The lease time can be either 1 hour to 4 days or 10 days, and after that, the DHCP will release another IP address and then take over the first one that it released to the device on the network. So that's basically that's what the DHCP is going to do. So I have to configure the DHCP servers like that. So that's the reason why I'm saying that it's going to release an IP address from here, from this pool, to any device that I'm going to connect to either the port 3 or the port 4. So the same DNS. So the lease time will be 10 minutes, which is okay. Go ahead and click next successfully. So now I'm done configuring this. The reason why I'm not going to configure the WAN is because of security reasons. I don't want to put in my IP address now. That's something that I will not advise anybody to do whenever you are doing a live thing. So all right, so now I have my DHCP server set up, I have my IP address set up. So what will be the next thing? The next thing is to go and then do the firewall rules. So I'll go to firewall, and then I'll go to NAT, and then the source, I'll go to the out interface here, and then put it on Ethernet. I'll put it on the 1. So the reason why I have the source NAT and then put it on the 1 is that anything, so any IP address that is connected to that is going outside this particular Ethernet 1 interface to the internet, what I want it to do is that I want the action to be masquerade. I want the firewall to masquerade the IP address when it gets on the internet. So basically, when you look at here, it's saying that any source that is going out from Ethernet 1 the action should be masquerade, so it should masquerade the IP address basically. So I'll go ahead and click apply, and I'll go to the filter rules. All right, so that will be for it. So the next thing I'm going to do is, let me see, is there anything I'm supposed to do? No, I don't think so. So now I'm done with this one. I'll just go ahead and then close it. But a little bit about the router, if you want to, let's say, add time to the router board, you can add time to the router board. So you know the uptime, you have the uptime, you can add the uptime. You can see the uptime here. So if you want to change if you want to change the name of the router board and want to change the password, you have the password here. You can come and then change the password of your router board. Oh,
Okay, so currently what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this cable for now. Yeah, just let me leave this one for hanging first. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in my Mikrotik router board. Perfect. And then, so as I showed you, this coax cable here will come to the Ethernet. I don't know if you can see. So this is the cable coming from the modem. It will come to the Ethernet port, to the first port, which is the one they've written internet. So this is where it will be plugged. All right. Then after that, I'm going to test for the internet whether it's the, because I just finished configuring the router board. All right. So as you can see, the light is blinking, which shows that it has some connection here. And then when you also look at the modem, you can see that the internet here, you see that data is blinking yellow. So which means that there's something, we are getting some nice feedback from the modem. As you can see, we are getting some nice feedback from the modem. So I just go ahead and connect my laptop to the router board and then see how, whether we have the internet. All right. Let me show you one of just something simple. When you look at the Mikrotik router, I've connected this second cable to the port that I renamed ether 2 AP, and as you can see that the light is blinking, which shows that is connected to my, you see, as you can see the number 2, and it shows that it's connected to my laptop. So now I'm going to go ahead and then show on the laptop if we have access to the internet, right? Okay, so I just go ahead and then open a browser. Let's see if we have internet. All right, so we've opened a browser. We are going to see if, let's open YouTube and see if we have internet. Okay, let's see. All right, so as you can see, yeah, we have internet. Let me just open one and then see what is going on, if it's going to play.